take this and roll it this way. Let's go like this and roll it on down this way. Because this is going away. Guy's going to pick it up today. $250. She gone. Don't need it anymore, so it's out. I go pick up the R154. That will be going in the car. Need to put this under because I think it's leaking a little fluid. All better. Good to go. So I talked about it before. I did pick up an R154. It is a fully built R154. Billet first, second, third, fourth, and fifth shift forks. Everything is REM or REM treated, so it's all polished and perfect. Everything is literally new. It has new gears, new everything. It's the later style, or with the, not Aristo, but the Chaser style with the tripod style shifter and everything on it. So it should shift close to like a V160 and not the truck style transmission that the R154 is known for. So it should actually give me everything I want. I did the calculations last night. They have this nice little calculator online. Actually, maybe I'll post it below for you guys because it was pretty neat. You enter in your tire size, the gear ratio, and it spits out, and then you give it the rear end ratio and the gear ratio for each one of your gears, and it gives you the speed kick out at each RPM. So it says the top speed at 7,000 RPMs with a 25.6 inch tall tire would be, I think, oh, that's correct. It was 188 at 7,000 RPMs. Well, I'll probably never go that fast, to be honest. So it's plenty good enough, and I think at 3,000 RPMs in fifth gear, I'm going 80 miles an hour. So it worked out perfect too, so it's a nice transmission I can cruise with, because my biggest complaint with the W58 was not so much actually the holding the power, because I wasn't really beating on it that much, was the fact that when I got on the highway, my car was tacking way up here. Like, it was stupid. When I was trying to go 80 with my friends, I was almost at 4,000 RPMs in fifth gear. And like, it was just, you could just hear the motor just screaming, just, it hated it. You could just tell the motor was like, all right, you can slow down any minute now. So it'll be very nice to have a transmission in the car that, one, can handle the power, number two, will actually drive nice, and it'll be able to flog on a little bit. I can't wait to do a burnout and maybe slide and scooch a little bit. I'm pretty excited about all that. So get the transmission here soon. Picking up from Freed Engineering, which I've mentioned before. I'm also ordering all the parts and doing it all at once. I got a new auto TT diff out of a Toyota Supra. What I'm going to do for you guys is this. I'd like to mark up the board here. I did the CD009 cost. I'd like to do an R154 cost for you. I'm going to do a separate video for that and label it just that so it can help everyone out, and I'll probably go pretty detailed with it. I figure there's quite a few people out there that ask the questions, what do you need to do to get it to work even in the MK4 Supra? Yes, it has been done, but I think people would still appreciate a breakdown, just like myself. I'm trying to hunt around, trying to see, check the old forums and stuff. What do I need to make this work? What don't I need to make this work? So I think it'd be great if I would actually write it down so everyone can see what is necessary to make an R154 fit in that guy. So I'll make that for you guys. This gives you a little breakdown. It'll help you out. I'll try to not make it company specific, but part specific, so you can buy any part from whatever company you want to. Now, some parts are only sold by certain companies, so I might have to in those cases, but for the most part, I'm going to try and keep it generic and give you, like, whatever, like I did with the CD009, kind of give you a little bit of a way area where it could be $100 for this, but it could be up to $500 if you buy this special part, etc. So I'm going to do that for you also. Another quick update, guys. After I did replace the coolant sensor plug that's down here, everything has been driving fine now. The car has been functioning quite fine. Oh, excuse me, I just belched. Everything's been good. I mean, it's been, knock on wood, driving fine. The only issue I'm having is this catch can might need to go. I'm not sure if it's running too rich, might be why. I don't know. Here's my issue. So let me go ahead and explain this to you guys real quick. This catch can here I had made. It works fantastic. It catches oil. But ever since I've installed it, I can smell all the fuel. Now, I had a custom catch can up before using the same billet valve cover, same everything. But I never had the smell. I mean, I had a little, very small hint of the smell, but it was very minute, to say that at most. I think the problem was, though, I think this one, it vents so much better that it actually gets all that smell out, where my old one, in my opinion, I don't think it was designed all that well. And I think there's a reason why I was catching more oil actually inside the can. It wasn't ventilating too well. So that's why I was never smelling anything. So I think this thing might actually need to be recirced. So I might actually have to get rid of this and have either a new one made, or a company called OCD Works, who makes my valve covers, makes a nice billet catch can that goes over there. Has 3 ports, 2 -10s that come from the rear, and then 1 single -10 that'll have to have my nicely powder coated intake welded and another -10 fitting onto it to recirc the air or to give vacuum to it. So yeah, I'm not sure I really want to do that, because once again, that's one more line. I don't think it looks very pretty in my eyes, but when it comes at the end of the day, function over form, I want the car to be more functional than anything. Like, I like my wire tuck, as I call it, but at the same time, everything's accessible. I don't hide anything I can't get to. It's kind of the reason my battery's up front. I like that everything is right here. I can easily get to it. It just makes sense to me. That's the reason I haven't hid the bottle here either. I might eventually hide that or get a billet version of it, but I want it to be up front, somewhere I can get to, or if there's something leaking, I'll be able to see where it's leaking from, and I won't have an issue getting to it. Guys, I just realized this, but I'm looking at my board right here. Okay, you're looking at the same board I'm looking at. What's the last line here say? I can tell you right now, I didn't put that shit on there. That shit's way too girly of a handwriting. My wife, buy wife big boobs. Honey, she's been begging me to buy her a set of boobs forever now. So that's another fun tidbit for you. God forbid I don't get those for her. She said I need to stop spending money in the car and spend money on her. I guess it's kind of like, I guess that'd be an upgrade too. Is that like getting a turbo kit except for a chest? I guess that's how that would go, right? Anyway, so yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. I just showed that real quick. Another thing I wanted to go over with you guys in this video is quality parts versus a knockoff. So I think we've all been there at one time, buying knockoff parts, buying parts from eBay, buying them from the Chinese, etc. Especially when you're a kid or you got a Honda or your first car, you just want to make it loud or you want to make a little bit extra power, but let's face it, we're all on a budget. So the first thing we do is go to eBay, or we go to wherever, Amazon, I guess it would be where everyone goes now. I guess I'm kind of old. When I got my car, it was 2004, Amazon wasn't really a big thing like it is now. Anyways, that's what you did. That's where you got your parts from. But now in this day and age, the parts are there and we can get it, and we're old enough to afford the parts. On my car here, let's put in, for example, I have a quality tile blow-off valve, Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator, Powerhouse Racing power steering fluid, but then I have a Mishimoto radio, made Chinese knockoff. I think that's really it. What else? I guess I'm not very good with this, because everything I have is actually made in the USA. The front lip was probably made in China. Most of that kind of stuff is made overseas, but I bought it from an American company. That's not an eBay front lip. Everything else, Borg Warner turbos, German, JDL manifold, custom catch can made in the USA. Everything else was made in the US, or it's Japanese of some sort. Japanese exhausts. Yeah, but I'd like to know, what is your guys' opinions on buying a knockoff or buying the real deal? You know, where do you all stand with buying parts? For me, I try to spend the money wisely. I have nothing against buying knockoffs. Oh, perfect example, my wheels are knockoffs. That would be perfect. These are cheap wheels. The tires actually cost more than the wheels. These are privet wheels. Let me go to the other side and give you a better look. These are privet wheels. These are actually, I think they're like $500, $600 brand new for an entire set. They're very cheap. Hell, the tires on them I think cost me like $800 for the Nitto tires. So that puts in perspective how cheap those wheels are. But they've been on the car now for like 4 years and they look fantastic. Now I never see salt or anything like that, and I do take good care of them, but they look great and they've held up really well. But would I ever want to track them? Absolutely not. I would be afraid to death that those would crack and give me some type of issue. I want to know your feedback on how you feel about knockoffs versus buying the real thing. I actually, like I said, don't have any issues with someone buying a knockoff, especially if it's something that's been discontinued. So say, let's put in perspective here. Someone makes a manifold design. HKS for the longest time had a beautiful manifold. They stopped making it. Someone else replicates that manifold. Well, since HKS no longer is willing to sell it, and someone out there, a customer is willing to buy that design, you're willing to remake it, that is okay with me. I have no issue with that whatsoever. Now, when you're buying a part that's blatantly ripping off someone else, I think that's where it starts getting to that touchy subject area where it's like, I'm not sure about all this. that's where it gets a little hard, and I think people will start to bash on others, so on and so forth. So what is your standpoint, guys? Are you a diehard, you must have the real deal parts? Are you on the other fence, we're going, I don't care what I get as long as it's the cheapest and it actually works for my car? Or are you in between like me? 90% of the stuff in my car is the real deal, but there's some parts I go, why do I need to spend $100 on something I can get for $5? Some places I feel like I can skimp on when it's not like a die-hard part or something that's gonna make the car mechanically fail. So let me know what you feel about that, guys. I wanna hear your feedback because, well, this is a big subject. I feel like it's been going on for a long time, especially across the car community in itself. One last thing, guys. I'd like for you, if you could, please go hit up my Instagram, which is Pure Function. Underbar or whatever you want to call it. It would just be the one word, Pure Function, and then underbar or underslash, whatever you want to call it. Or you can go to my Facebook page, which is Pure Function Engineering. Please go check it out, like and subscribe to that. If you want to message me or get a hold of me, that is the best way to get a hold of me. I stopped using the email end of it just because it's too hard to keep track and it was just going through everything else. If I could put it through the page or if I could put it through my Instagram, it's much easier for me to get a hold of y'all. If you want to order shirts, please message me through the Facebook page and I'll make sure to get one out to you. Like I said, they're still readily available if you guys would like anything. I'm working with my friend Colt Martin right now. He's hopefully making me some new shirts and we're going to try maybe a different design. He got some new tools and I'd like to check it out. Once again, I mentioned him before. He has his own dip business and now he's trying to get into another venture. So maybe that'll be something we can all talk about on the channel one day. All right, guys, as usual, thank you very much. I appreciate y'all signing in. If there's anything else you need, if there's any other things you'd like me to talk about, anything about the car, anything up new, I know I'm going to do a step-by-step for the R154, and I know you're going to love that. Thank you very much, guys. Talk to you later. Peace.